everybody, it's Jennifer Tonetti Spellman here for Women in Street Stories. I am in beautiful New York City today with Patti Fogarty.
Hey everyone, hi.
So Patti is joining us today for a brief little interview here on the streets. We're in Hell's Kitchen right now. And Patti, how long have you been shooting street for, would you say? I know it's always a tough question. We've been shooting forever.
Yeah. Well, sort of since 2001. Starting film, you only have so many shots to take, so you're careful, and then digital, and it's just whoa.
Yeah, you only have so many shots to take, and we only have so much money.
Exactly.
With film development and whatnot.
Exactly.
So you reside in New York City, correct?
Yes, I'm lucky enough to live here.
Yes, that is the word, lucky.
Yeah.
And do you have favorite parts of New York City that you like to shoot in?
Well, I love all of New York City, and it just depends so much on the mood. But I love Harlem, South Bronx, parts of Queens, downtown. I love bridges. There's so much lurking, under and around
lurkers.
bridges,
Yes.
and shadows.
Some nice figures going on around the bridge areas.
It's such a moody process. It depends on the weather. Times Square can be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Different times of day, night, morning, midnight. It's just such a wonderfully moody thing to shoot New York anywhere.
Yes. And Patti, you're not a native New Yorker, as we can hear from your accent, but you
can't pick it up.
But you also, you've lived in other areas. I know even from your profile and looking at your website, you kind of say you're a wanderer. You moved around a lot. So out of all the other cities other than New York City, how would you compare and contrast when you're doing street shooting to, say, something like London, which we've talked about?
Well, it depends who you're with. If you're on your own, anywhere's good. Mm-hmm. But when you're with family, friends, they can get a bit cheesed off. Oh, he's just taking another photo, whatever. But I have a lot more freedom here in New York because I'm on my own. Mm-hmm. I just walk out the door, decide where do I want to go to today. I can walk. London is just a little bit more specific as to where you're going to go, what to do.
London, right. You have that one central area in London.
And whereas people tend to live, work on top of each other in New York more so than they do in London.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We have more to choose from, I think, from a population standpoint.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I agree. I mean, there's nowhere like, say, a Times Square where you can literally be like this and people aren't even noticing that you're shooting.
Exactly. And people live around Times Square too.
Yes, exactly.
It's not exclusively, whatever. Mm-hmm. There's so much more freedom for me in New York.
Shooting in New York versus the other cities.
Yeah.
And you said that you go to the Bronx, right? So you like you travel to the boroughs. What area of the Bronx do you like to shoot in most?
Mott Haven, South Bronx.
South Bronx.
Yeah, I love the overhead passes, the bridges, the shadows. It's changing. Mm-hmm. For better or worse, I'm absolutely not going to go into that.
Right.
But it's quite a fascinating place, and not a lot of people, but a changing landscape for sure.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Patti. So some street photographers will stay strictly shooting with humans in frame.
Yes, but in the South Bronx, you'll get a human in the frame, but you won't get that, the part that I go to anyway, but it will be more an isolated person.
Isolated person versus crowd.
Yes.
And how do you feel about shooting non-human in the street? Shadows, and like you said, I
think it's wonderful. Mm-hmm. It's part of the street. I'm not as fussy and as rigid with all this street code.
Right.
Good. That's good. To me, street photography, we all have our own ways.
That's right, exactly. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
Mm-hmm. I live in fear of that's not street.
Right. I know. No rules. Please. If it's on the street, it's street.
Yeah, but at the same time, there are only so many photos you can take of people on their cell phones.
Absolutely.
So many photos you can take of people doing nothing. There has to be some point that pulls you some
story, right?
Something of interest. So there are a lot of shots. Kill me. I don't want to see this again.
Yes,
please.
Yes. Right.
And I'm probably guilty of some.
Yes,
so.
We all are at certain times.
Yeah.
Patti, talk to me a little bit about what, if anything, does it mean for you to be a woman on the street?
I totally forget about that part of the equation. I don't go out thinking I'm a woman. I'm doing this. I've never ever felt my only disadvantage is my lack of creativity and talent.
Please, Patti.
No. But it's a personal thing. But nothing to do with me being a man or a woman.
Yes, we talked about that. We're all students of the street.
Exactly.
You never stop learning. It doesn't matter how long you've been shooting for. We can always be better.
Oh gosh, right? Yeah.
And that applies to men and women. Yes.
Exactly. So I don't feel a heavy burden of disadvantage about being a woman. Bad luck if I do, because I've had enough years to deal with it.
Right.
But you're always dealing with something.
Yes, exactly. You are. And my final question, Patti, is, and we talked about this a little bit before we went live today, is you're a close shooter, right? You prefer to be up close?
Yeah, because my camera, it's the Fuji, the 23, and it really doesn't worry me, because there are so many wonderful facial expressions. There's just so much I feel greedy. There's so much to grab.
Yes, there is so much to grab.
But I like to do it with some sense of graciousness.
Yes. Okay. So not overly aggressive.
Oh no, because that's not fair to anyone. I mean, no, but I can't do that.
Right.
I can't do that.
Yeah, it's not in here.
No, and everyone has a redeeming quality. Everyone's wonderful as far as I'm concerned. So
that's good. I like that note to end on. Well, thanks everyone. See everyone that joined.
You.
Thanks so much for joining us here at Women in Street. Stay tuned, because there'll be a lot more coming from Women in Street stories soon.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Patti.
Bye. A nice place to shoot, because you get the lovely reflections in the red. You don't have to get the comfort in, but you've got the vivid blue, and you've got a crowd of people coming down, and it's really quite nice. Shadow and smoke. Oh, it's not to love about some shadow and smoke.